Politico obtaining a draft opinion from the justices that, if finalized, would overturn Roe v. Wade. This is historic. In modern times, we have never seen a draft decision of the court be disclosed publicly while the case was still pending. The opinion written by Justice Alito was leaked and published on Monday night. For more on this, we are joined by our friend Niall Stanage, an associate editor at The Hill. Niall, it's always good to see you, but let's really jump into this. Can you confirm Alito's opinion on this draft? It was formed on the basis that he believes abortion rights are not constitutional rights?
Yes, that's right. He believes that the Constitution does not enumerate a right to abortion. That right had been held to reside in what was called the penumbra of the Constitution, in other words, the shadows of the Constitution, delivering a right to privacy. Conservatives don't generally believe that to be the case, and Justice Alito, in this draft opinion, making that argument.
This is really, I mean, I think a lot of people are wondering, how in the world does this happen? The inner deliberations of the court have never been breached like this, at least not in our lifetime, the lifetime of our great-great-grandfathers. Explain to us just how secretive and just how, tight to the vest these draft opinions usually are.
Oh, I mean, extraordinarily tight to the vest. The Supreme Court is like a secular church in a way, Adrienne. There is no expectation normally that these things will leak. People who work at the Supreme Court take that privacy extremely seriously. So this is a virtually unprecedented situation, and one I think that does erode the authority of the Supreme Court, or the elevated position of the court as something above the general back and forth of American politics.
So how soon could we possibly see an investigation into whoever leaked this?
Well, I mean, I think that pretty clearly people on the court will want to find that out. But it is worth stressing that, at least as I see it, this is not a criminal action. I mean, Supreme Court decisions are not matters of national security, for example, which are typically the kind of field where we see charges being pressed if people disclose information without authorization. Certainly people like the Chief Justice, Justice Roberts, will want to get to the bottom of this, but I don't see that it is a criminal matter.
So, I mean, it's not a criminal matter, but I think a lot of people are thinking, some things should be sacred, including the deliberations of a court trying to work out a decision, a final decision, and then others wanting some of that clear, transparent accountability, arguably. But could this leak and the potential of that draft becoming final opinion galvanize the Democratic voters? I mean, this is a time of very, very soured expectations among Democrats.
Yes, it could energize Democrats. I think that the political lines on abortion are typically so clearly drawn that I'm not sure this changes anyone's vote. The critical element in this politically, which you're alluding to, Adrienne, is its possibility to drive Democrats to the polls who might not otherwise have gone to the polls. They might feel discontent with President Biden. They might be unhappy about inflation. They might just not be that excited about voting. This could potentially change that because it puts the threat to the previous law, or what had been seen as settled law, into such stark relief.
I'm guessing this is going to be the only thing we hear in Washington, that everyone is going to be talking about this today and really nothing else.
Yes, this is going to be absolutely enormous news. It already is in Washington. President Biden has not said anything yet, Adrienne, but one thing I should mention is that Vice President Harris is due to address Emily's List, a female-oriented liberal group, this evening. That had been on her schedule already, but that appearance is virtually guaranteed to make more news in this environment.
Absolutely. Niall Stanage, as always, good to see you, and check in with you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.